Our brains are constantly generating stories to explain the world to us all the time. And at the center of those stories is us. About 5 or 6 years old, a human brain is mature enough to begin to understand the autobiographical narrative. A child can see themselves at the center of a story of their life. It's a huge capacity, and we're always generating these stories. Ourselves as son and daughter and friend and lover and all these things. Now, these autobiographical narratives, by the time we reach adult, are either coherent and they're positive, and autonomous. I feel myself generating a good life story moving into the future. This is associated with secure attachment if you're an attachment theorist. Or we have autobiographical narratives of us as losers, or us as someone who is unlucky, us as someone who is unkind, us as someone who is treated unfairly. These autobiographical narratives have huge impact, and we want on our lives and on how we relate with other people. And when you and I are relating, I am feeding into your autobiographical narrative, you're feeding into my autobiographical narratives, and in our intersubjectivity, we shape each other. And in that shaping, we change our narratives in one direction or another. And this is a big deal because this is just what human nervous systems do. We tell these stories to ourselves, and we have these stories. And these stories, out of shadow, give us direction to act in healthy and unhealthy ways depending upon what our narrative is. So all of us are, in my opinion, to a certain extent obliged to be working on improving our autobiographical narratives. Because as we do, we're more coherent people in the world, and we do better in the world. We take more joy in the world. We are more happy people. We are more healthy people. We serve love better. And if we don't, then destructive things happen. And when we have difficulties and sometimes hurt other people. And that's autobiographical narratives. So, your husband says, that dress is too short. And you go into a story about, my legs are too fat, I'm unattractive, he's not attracted to me, I'm not a very attractive person. That's not a happy autobiographical narrative. Your husband says, you look beautiful in that dress. And you go into a narrative of, I'm sexy, he loves me, I'm the embodiment of the feminine divine. That's an autobiographical narrative. Now, we can change our autobiographical narratives. We can change the past. We can't change the events, but we can change the meaning of the events by how we understand ourselves and how we move forward.